will please vacate the chamber. Members and guests in the galleries will please rise as we are led in prayer today by the gentleman from the 22nd District, Delegate Linville.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you today grateful for the safe travels that we've had. Lord, we've got a couple of our colleagues who are out today with some health issues. We'd ask you to place your healing hand upon them, and we lift them up in prayer this morning. Lord, thank you for all the many blessings of life. Thank you for the wisdom and guidance that you provide us. We'd ask for you to continue to do so as we make our decisions today and throughout the remainder of this session of the West Virginia Legislature. Lord, be with us and keep us. Forgive us of our sins. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. Please remain standing as we are led in the Pledge of Allegiance today by the gentleman from the 22nd District, Delegate Hornbuckle.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues and friends in the gallery, please share with me in honoring our country today. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Members and guests may be seated. Reading of the Journal.
Journal of the House of Delegates, February 2nd, 2026.
Journal of the 26th, Delegate Rohrbach.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that further reading of the journal be dispensed with and it be approved as having been read.
Gentlemen, the 26th ask unanimous consent that further reading of the journal be dispensed with and that it be approved as having been read. Are there objections? Are there objections? No objections are heard. Further reading of the journal will be dispensed with. Introductions. Introductions. Gentlemen, the 59th, Douglas Shamlin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the viewing gallery right behind me is one of my former students. She's down here for Marshall University Day, Miss Kendall Perry. If she could stand, she was my Honor Society president when I was sponsoring Honor Society at Nitro High School, and if the House would make her feel welcome.
Gentleman from the 23rd, Delegate Worrell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have a couple of pages with us today. Both of them are homeschooled. I'd like to introduce them separately. First, we have Raylan McCormick, if she would stand. And she is joined today by her mother in the North Gallery, Amber McCormick. And also we have Charlotte Worrell, happens to be my daughter. And she is brought here today by her mother in the North Gallery, Jen, as well as my son, Bo, my daughter, Annie, and my daughter, Eleanor. If they would stand, the House would please make them feel welcome.
The lady from the 20th, Delegate Drennan.
Thank you very much. I'd like for everybody to notice our youth in government from Putnam County here, among which is my son, Connor. If they could make them feel welcome, and if you have some time, share some of your knowledge from your experiences at the House. Thank you so much.
Gentleman from the 66th, Delegate Kyle.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This morning I've got a page from Elkins High School. Miss Oakley Martin paging for me, if she'll stand up. And she's escorted by her mother, Hannah Sherm, and my beautiful daughter, Lily. You make them feel welcome.
Delegate from the 35th, Delegate Vance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's always a good day when I can stand up on the House floor and introduce some people from Walman County. We have youth and government students with us today from our various middle schools. They're in the North Gallery. If they would, I'd like for the House to make them feel welcome. They are Lindsey Morgan, Kelsey Garrettson, Ella Hilton, Ada Zhao, Whitney Walker, Kaylee Dean, Jayden Brown, Caleb Morgan, Elijah Mitchell, Brandon Cook, Bristol Ellis, Jacqueline Simpson, Bella Grimmett, and Christopher Sizemore. And they're escorted today by teachers Matthew Evans and Lauren Manning. If everyone would, please give them a good welcome.
Gentleman from the 50th, Delegate Pritt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, everyone. We have a page with us today. He is one of my students, my 9th grade English class at Oak Hill High School, Mr. Eli Poole, if he would stand up. And his mother, Tanya Humphrey, is in the gallery behind me. If she'd wave and say hello to everybody, please make them feel welcome this morning. Thank you.
Gentleman from the 75th, Delegate Mallow.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If you look at the North Gallery, we have a young man down here from Marion County with Youth in Government. He exemplifies the initiative and leadership we're looking at our young people. My friend C.J. Tucker, make him feel warm and welcome.
Gentleman from the 54th, Delegate Pushkin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today we have paging with us a 8th grader from Elkview Middle School, Mr. Wyatt Davis. If Wyatt would please stand. He is accompanied today by his parents, Jennifer and Thomas Davis, who are in the West Gallery. If they would stand or wave, and would the House please make them all feel welcome.
Gentleman from the 93rd, Delegate Hornby.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Up in the West Gallery from big, beautiful Berkeley County, we have a delegation of 8th grade students representing all 6 Berkeley County middle schools as part of Youth in Government seminars being held at the Capitol this week. 2 students from each school were selected by their principal to represent their school. They represent the best and brightest from Berkeley County. If they would stand and the House make them feel welcome.
Gentleman from the 32nd, Delegate Holstein.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've got a few introductions to make here this morning. First of all, paging with us today, we've got 2 students, 8th grade students from Sherman Junior High School, Lexi Griffith and Tristan Foster. They're both walking around helping us out already. And with them in the gallery, the West Gallery, we've got their parents and guardians there, Amanda Browning, Laura Browning, Amanda Foster, and Greg Foster. If the House would please make them feel welcome. And also, Mr. Speaker, joining us in one of the galleries here is Mr. Ryan Jacinto. He's the Executive Director of the West Virginia Republican Party, who I get to work with every day, and he would stand in the House. Please make him feel welcome. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, I see a fellow church attendee of mine, and we go to church together, and he works at Marshall University, and he does a lot for this state and a lot for our communities. Mr. James Westbrook in the West Gallery, if you'll House will make him feel welcome. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman from the 57th, Delegate Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have 2 pages. My first page is Kaylee Whitehead. She goes to George Washington High School, if you can stand up. She's an athlete. She plays tennis, soccer, and track, and she's joined by her mother, Emily Thayer. House can give her a hand. My second page is Liam O'Leary, goes to John Adams Middle School, soccer athlete, and he's joined by his parents, Sean and Heather O'Leary. If the House can give him a hand.
Gentleman from the 25th, Delegate Hornbuckle.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, I have a page with me here today. If he would stand up, please. We have Khalil Clements, a junior from Huntington High School, very, very involved in student council and does amazing work in the community. House, please make him feel welcome. And I also today, as we know, it is Marshall Day. And so have a lot of great students with us here today. Some of those include, and would they please stand there in the galleries? We have Lacey Brenner, Landon Medford, Ashton Pack, Ben McElroy, Dominic Barham, Belle Walls, Reagan Clagg, Jacob Walker, and Soleil Woolard. House, please make them feel welcome.
The gentlelady from the 56th, Delegate Young.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Happy Marshall Day. I'm excited to be joined by a page today. If she could stand up, her name is Michaela Alcott. She's at Charleston Catholic, and she's here with her mother, Heather, if everyone would make her feel welcome.
The gentlelady from the 19th, Delegate Kraus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, everyone. Today, I am joined by a page, Waylon Taylor, if he'll stand up. And he is here with his mother today, Amanda Taylor, up in the South Gallery. If the House could please make them welcome.
The gentleman from the 35th, again, Delegate Vance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I almost forgot we have another Wyoming County in here. She's doing big things at Marshall. Miss Popper Cook. Everybody make her feel welcome.
The gentleman from the 24th, Delegate Lucas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And yes, today is Marshall Day at the state capitol. More than 200 faculty, staff, alumni, and students are here today to showcase the university's statewide impact. Under the leadership of President Brad D. Smith, Marshall has grown to be a strong partner to West Virginia. Through their national renowned Advanced Manufacturing Center that offers innovative workforce and business solutions, to our state's future home of our state's Center of Excellence for Cybersecurity, to exceeding new limits with their Division of Aviation. Marshall is excelling. 78% of Marshall students are West Virginians. When you add dual enrollment, that number jumps to 81%. So Marshall is a very important asset to our state. I would like to recognize the Marshall community today. We have several students, faculty, and staff in the galleries. I would like to recognize a few of the students with us today. Please stand when I call your name. Alyssa Davis, Student Body Vice President, Political Science and Communications major. Ben McElroy, Criminal Justice and History major. Isaac Campbell, Biology major. Kendall Perry, Nursing major. Landon Mefford, Theater major. Trey Heyer, Mr. Marshall, Homecoming King and Marketing major. Please make them feel welcome. Also, the Marshall Advanced Television Reporting class is here today. Please stand when I call your name. We have Jimmy John Jacob, Holly Belmont, Anna Holstein, Riley Burnett, Nolan Duncan, Abby Ays, Teaching Assistant Emma Gallus, and Instructor Adjunct Professor Randy Yohe. Please make them feel welcome. Marshall Pipeline for state government, and we also have from Marshall University, Dr. Andrew Morlock and his West Virginia government and politics students here to celebrate with us today. If they could stand and be recognized. And finally, could all members of the Marshall community stand, and the House please make them all feel welcome. Go Herd!
The gentleman from the 7th, Delegate Sheedy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Somewhere here, I'm not sure where she is, but my stepdaughter, Jamie Birch, is here with her husband. They are here with the West Virginia Home Builders Association. Please stand up and make them all welcome. Thank you.
And the gentleman from the 44th, Delegate Roop.
Speaker, it is an honor and a pleasure today for me to be able to introduce this young lady. She's a freshman at Marshall University, and I ask her to stand. Miss Abby Dillon. Please make her feel welcome.
Other introductions? If not, then standing committee reports.
Your Committee on Energy and Public Works has had under consideration House Bill 4461, establishing limitations on billing practices of internet or telecommunications providers that fail to provide subscribed customer service for 5 or more days. Reports committee substitute back, therefore, with recommendation the committee substitute do pass, but first be referred to your Committee on the Judiciary.
Report to be received. Gentleman the first.
Hey, Mr. Speaker, 2 chairs having conferred unanimous consent to second reference to your Committee on the Judiciary be dispensed with.
Gentleman from the first asked unanimous consent that the second reference to the Committee on Judiciary on House Bill 4461 be dispensed with. Are there objections? No objections are heard. Second reference will be dispensed with. Bill will be placed on the counter. Further standing committee reports.
Your Committee on Energy and Public Works has had under consideration House Bill 4489, authorizing the DMV to issue certain vital records in the custody of the State Registrar. Reports committee substitute back, therefore, with recommendation the committee substitute do pass, but first be referred to your Committee on Finance.
Report will be received and the bill will be referred to the Committee on Finance.
Your Committee on Energy and Public Works had under consideration House Bill 4012, relating to reducing the regulatory burden on utility companies when constructing and maintaining electric power generation and transmission facilities within the state. and House Bill 4026 relating to expanding the requirements for integrated resource plans utility companies must file with Public Service Commission. Reports committee substitutes back therefore with recommendation that each do pass.
For to be received.
Your Committee on Health and Human Resources had under consideration House Bill 4770, establishing limitations on the use of artificial intelligence and artificial intelligence technology to deliver mental health care with exceptions for administrative support functions. Reports committee substitute back therefore with recommendation. Committee substitute do pass, but first be referred to Committee on Finance.
Report to be received. The bill will be referred to the Committee on Finance.
Your Committee on Health and Human Resources had under consideration House Bill 4641 relating to codifying the guidelines for nutritionally adequate school breakfasts and lunches. Reports committee substitute back therefore with recommendation. Committee substitute do pass, but first be referred to your Committee on Education.
The report will be received and the bill will be referred to the Committee on Education.
Your Committee on the Judiciary has had under consideration House Bill 4382, require collection agencies to provide 30 days notice prior to wage garnishments. House Bill 4552, relating to the law enforcement powers of correctional officers. House Bill 4570, to make the posting of a summons in a conspicuous place on a rental property acceptable service when a tenant is unavailable for personal service. And House Bill 4625, relating to exemptions from excise taxes. Reports committee substitutes back therefore with recommendation that each do pass.
Report to be received.
Your Committee on Government Organization has had under consideration House Bill 4198, E-Verify Requirement Act. Reports committee substitute back therefore with recommendation. Committee substitute do pass.
Report will be received. Other standing committee reports. If not, select committee reports, executive messages, Senate messages.
The Clerk of the Senate announces that the Senate has passed the following bills. Committee substitute for Senate Bill 61, prohibiting acceptance of illegal ballots cast in any election.
Message to be received and the bill will be referred to the Committee on Judiciary.
Committee substitute for Senate Bill 167, relating to meetings for local levying bodies.
Message to be received and the bill will be referred to the Committee on Government Organization.
Committee substitute for Senate Bill 233, clarifying qualifications to be licensed to administer polygraphs.
Message to be received and the bill will be referred to the Committee on Government Organization.
Committee substitute for Senate Bill 374, authorizing the Department of Commerce to promulgate legislative rules.
Message to be received and the bill will be referred to the Committee on Government Organization.
Senate Bill 403, relating to expanding definition of tourism attraction.
Message to be received and the bill will be referred to the Committee on Government Organization.
Senate Bill 427, relating to loan form.
The message to be received and the bill will be referred to the Committee on Finance.
Committee substitute for Senate Bill 506, permitting certain use of county-owned wireless tower.
The message to be received and the bill will be referred to the Committee on the Judiciary. Other Senate messages at this time? If not, resolutions.
House Resolution 6, recognizing the importance of sustained economic development to the prosperity of West Virginia.
Gentleman from the first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Unanimous consent to the further reading of resolutions introduced be dispensed with, and each resolution be considered as having been formally introduced and referred to the appropriate committees as indicated on the Chamber automation system.
The gentleman from the first asked unanimous consent to the further reading of resolutions introduced be dispensed with, and that each resolution be considered as having been formally introduced and referred to the appropriate committees as indicated on the Chamber automation system. Are there objections? No objections are heard. Further reading of resolutions will be dispensed. Petitions. Bills introduced.
House Bill 5058, require that notice be provided for any lab-grown food served in restaurants.
Gentleman from the first.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to further reading of bills introduced be dispensed with, and each bill be considered as having been formally introduced and referred to the appropriate committees as indicated on the Chamber automation system.
Gentleman from the first asked unanimous consent that the further reading of bills introduced be dispensed with, and that each bill be considered as having been formally introduced and referred to the appropriate committees as indicated on the Chamber automation system. Are there objections? No objections are heard. Further reading of bills introduced will be dispensed with. Motions. Motions. Unfinished business. Unfinished business. Bills on third reading.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4137, updating the West Virginia Law Institute.
The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Are there objections to having the bill explained in lieu of having the bill read? No objections are heard. Gentleman from the 55th, Douglas Akers, to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just a brief explanation. House Bill 4137, what the West Virginia Law Institute is, for folks who may not know before I talk about the changes to the bill. There's existing code that was established back in the 1980s, which set up the West Virginia Law Institute, and reading from the preamble to that legislation reads that the State Law Institute is an official advisory law revision and law reform agency of the state of West Virginia that shall be located at the West Virginia University College of Law, and its job is to collaborate with the legislature to provide advisory recommendations to this body. This bill seeks to amend the existing code section it changes the membership of the Law Institute, which simply provides updates based upon or portions of this article which are currently obsolete based upon the membership requirements that were imposed in the 80s. It also allows for compensation for the citizen members of the institute only to the extent that they may be granted travel reimbursement expenses. No other compensation is allowed. There is also technical cleanup, and it clarifies that the Law Institute acts in an advisory capacity only and is not subject to the Open Governmental Proceedings Act due to the fact that it does not take any official action otherwise. That's a brief explanation of the bill, Mr. Speaker. Take any questions and urge passage.
Question again is, shall the bill pass? Is there debate on the bill? If not, those in favor of passage of the bill will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will please close the machine and ascertain the result on that question. There were 88 ayes, 4 nays, and 7 members absent. A majority of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares that bill passed. The clerk will please report the title.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4137.
Are there title amendments?
Delegate Akers moves to amend the title.
The question is on adoption of the title amendment. Those in favor of adoption of the title amendment will please say aye. Those opposed will please say no. The ayes have it. The chair declares that title amendment adopted. The title as amended by the House will be in the title of the bill. The clerk will please communicate the action of the House and the Senate for the bills on third reading.
House Bill 4629, relating to medical cessation treatment and research.
The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Are there objections to having the bill explained in lieu of having the bill read? No objections are heard. The gentleman from the 23rd, Delegate Worrell, is recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 4629 creates an exception to the law prohibiting the sale or gift of tobacco products to persons younger than 21 years of age so that institutions of higher education can conduct scientific studies or research. The bill further clarifies that the study or research being conducted must be for the purpose of medical research to further efforts in cigarette and tobacco use prevention and cessation and tobacco product regulation. This bill would also require that such medical research be approved by a properly accredited institutional review board pursuant to applicable federal regulations. I urge passage.
The question again is, shall the bill pass? Is there debate on the bill? If not, those in favor of passage of the bill will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will please close the machine and ascertain the result on this question. We had 87 ayes, 5 nays, and 7 members absent. A majority of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares that bill passed. The clerk will please report the title.
House Bill 4629.
Are there title amendments? If not, the title as read by the clerk will be and remain the title of the bill. The clerk will please communicate the action of the House to the Senate. Further bills on third reading.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4740, statutory commitments in rural health transformation program.
Gentleman the first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Move to make House Bill 4629 effective for passage.
The question is on the gentleman's motion that House Bill 4629 be made effective from passage. Clerk will please read a short title of the bill again.
House Bill 4629, relating to medical cessation treatment and research.
Those in favor of the gentleman's motion that House Bill 4629 be made effective from passage will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will please close the machine and ascertain the result on that question. There were 91 ayes, 2 nays, and 6 members absent. 2/3 of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares the bill effective from passage. The clerk will please communicate the action of the House to the Senate. Further bills on third reading.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4740, statutory commitments in rural health transformation program.
The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Are there objections to having the bill explained in lieu of having the bill read? No objections are heard. The gentleman from the 23rd, Delegate Worrell, is recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The committee substitute for House Bill 4740 removes the requirement that the Rural Health Transformation Program use the Division of Purchasing, but still requires the program to follow the purchasing rules established by the Department of Health. I urge passage.
Is there debate on the bill? Gentleman from the 54th, Delegate Pushkin, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is the first in a series of bills related to the Rural Health Care Initiative, how we address federal funds that are coming in through the spending bill. I, for one, refuse to call it beautiful, because what it's going to wind up doing is kicking a whole lot of West Virginians off their health care in the long run. Actually, in the short term, we've seen a lot of folks who get their insurance through the ACA see premiums go from $300 to $500 a month over $2,000 a month. that's going to affect our rural hospitals. So that's why they created this fund. So they're replacing what could wind up being $1 billion or so with millions of dollars. It simply does not add up. So while I would support the bill, we have to be able to spend it in order so we don't have to any clawback on it. I just wanted to point out that what this fund is set out to do is save our rural hospitals. I'm just not sure how this or any of the bills following it actually will save any of our rural hospitals. The math simply doesn't. That's kind of like when somebody says they're going to give you a 1,500% rebate on your drugs. Math just simply doesn't add up.
Question before the House again is, shall the bill pass? Is there debate on the bill? Lady from the 56th, Doug Young, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the chairman yield for some questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So it looks like within this bill is this only specific to the $199 million that's coming in for the Rural Health Transformation Fund?
Yes, it is.
And so is that, I know it's $199 million this year, but what about the next few years?
So the way the program is set up is that it's $100 million base for the next 5 years, and then we are part of the application, part of a competitive bid for the additional funding, which we received this year, $99.5 million. That will be reevaluated every year for what we potentially would receive.
And so if we put this in code, then they're going to be exempt for the entirety of the program, or just this first $199 million?
The entirety of the program. The issue is that CMS is very strict with the way that they're going to monitor the spending of these funds. So there are clawbacks if the Department of Health does not follow along with the application and what they've presented, how they'll spend the funds. This bill just simply allows them to obviously take out Department of Purchasing, but they are still held by the purchasing rules that they have in the Department of Health.
Is CMS not strict about all the funding that they give us with clawback language? Like, what's different this time?
We have other things for the department. I think we have multiple different items that they're exempt from Department of Purchasing. Not everything, but there are other items that this body has made decisions to clarify that as well. This is just another policy decision for us to review specific to the Rural Health Transformation Program.
I'm just concerned about potential fraud and favoritism, and it seems like if we exempt all this funding from purchasing rules, which it's now sounding like they are but aren't. So
well,
I'm concerned about that, if you could address that for me.
Want to clarify, they're not exempt from purchasing rules, just from going through the Department of Purchasing for how they spend the money. But once again, that application they've submitted to CMS is very stringent, and they have to follow that application to the letter, to the T. And I am also concerned with fraud, as you are as well. I would venture to say that because we're doing this does not allow fraud to happen. There are very strict program requirements to the Rural Health Transformation Program.
So we're just taking away that additional layer of, we're basically giving up our ability to have our own controls for fraud in addition to, which we seem to have on all the purchasing that we get from federal funding.
I would disagree with that, Delegate.
Could you explain? Because I just want to make sure I know we're both worried about fraud. I just want to make sure we're not giving up our ability to control that at a state level.
Right. Department of Health has their own purchasing rules and guidelines that they follow already. So they'll still follow those rules. This just exempts them from the Department of Purchasing, separate from the Department of Health.
Okay, so are you concerned that there's going to be, that there could potentially be favoritism or nepotism or any sort of, giving your friends that work in Big Pharma money from this, not your friends, Royal you, some of this rural health funding? We think we're okay on that?
Delegate, yes, I do.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yes, gentleman from the 98th, Douglas Funkhauser is recognized on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the chairman here for a question?
Yes, sir.
So I'm looking at this bill, and we're exempting 5A-3-1, and in that we've already exempted out the C1 there. The provisions of this article do not apply to the judicial branch. There's 7 of them, including the legislative branch. Do you have concerns about fraud because of those exemptions in our branch of government?
I don't, because of the fact that this is specific to the Rural Health Transformation Program application. They need to have the flexibility to spend the funds that they receive from CMS the way that their application that they've submitted it. So because of that, I'm not worried about that because they have to follow those guidelines that they've submitted, and CMS has been very clear about how they're going to follow the way that the transformation program spends the funds.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman from the 80th, Eckel Williams is recognized on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the gentleman yield for one quick question?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. So if we were to be appropriating these funds to a state agency, like if we were to be appropriating them to Medicaid, because we're going to be losing hundreds of millions of dollars in Medicaid, would we have to do any purchasing there? Or are these dollars not eligible for Medicaid?
Yeah. Delegate, a certain portion of these funds can be used for Medicaid, but that was not part of this state's Rural Health Transformation Program application.
Okay, so the $500 million cannot be used to backfill what we're losing in Medicaid?
That is accurate.
Okay, thank you.
Are there other members who wish to be recognized to speak on this bill? If not, does the gentleman from the 23rd wish to close debate on the bill? Debate on the bill has been closed. The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage of the bill will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will please close the machine and ascertain the result on this question. We had 92 ayes, 1 nay, and 6 members absent. A majority of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares the bill passed. The clerk will please report the title.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4740.
Are there title amendments? If not, the title as read by the clerk will be and remain the title of the bill. Gentleman the first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Move to make the bill effective for passage.
The question is on the gentleman's motion that the bill be made effective from passage. Those in favor of the gentleman's motion will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will please close the machine and ascertain the result on this question. We had 92 ayes, 1 nay, and 6 members absent. 2/3 of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares the bill effective from passage. The clerk will please communicate the action of the House to the Senate. For the bills on third reading.
House Bill 4951, requiring MDs and DOs to complete continuing education.
The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Are there objections to having the bill explained in lieu of having the bill read? No objections are heard. Gentleman from the 23rd to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 4951 requires the Board of Medicine and Osteopathic Medicine to amend their continuing education rules to require a licensee to obtain continuing education in nutrition education. I urge passage.
Question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Is there debate on the bill? Gentleman from the 54th, Doug Pushkin, is recognized.
Thank you. I think that was a rather thorough and correct interpretation of the bill. That's all the bill does. It requires MDs and DOs to have this CMEs and nutrition. But again, someone could please tell me how that's going to save our rural hospitals that are in danger of being shut down because of the spending bill. I'd love to know how it's going to save those hospitals.
Are there other members who wish to be recognized on the bill? Gentleman from the 5th, Doug Fluharty, is recognized on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman yield.
Yes, sir.
What's stopping the medical board from already doing this?
Nothing is stopping the medical board from doing this. What I would tell you is that this is part of the RHTP scoring application, and that is why it is being addressed in code.
But I don't see where we have other areas where the government is mandating this for continuing education purposes. Why is this one in particular necessary?
We do for opioid treatment, for example.
Not in this code provision.
Not in this code provision, no.
Okay, so we're mandating that the board, okay, how does it work currently? How many hours do they need for the continuing education?
50 for doctors, 32 for osteos.
Okay, so this is requiring that every time they re-up, they must have continuing education in nutrition, correct?
Yes, sir.
Every single time. So as a medical professional, if you take it in year one and you go up to re-up later, whether it's every 2 years, whatever it may be, and you already had it, you're going to repeat it again just 2 years later?
Well, it could be a different type of nutrition program. I know they change and alter different types of education requirements they have from time to time.
Again, but we're not even qualifying what is there a definition of what counts as medical education, nutrition? Are we defining it?
That's up to the board to determine.
And they can do that currently, right?
They could.
But now the government is mandating that they do it.
If this law were to pass, yes.
Was there any testimony in committee that said this was necessary?
There was no testimony in committee of why it's necessary. I would just refer back to the RHTP application and CMS guidelines that this puts the state in potential possibility of receiving additional funds in future funding periods for the Rural Health Transformation Program.
If we put it in code?
Yes, sir.
There was testimony to that?
No, that's in the CMS guidelines for the Rural Health Transformation Program.
Okay, but those guidelines can be met through our current system, which is the medical board, which is full of professionals deciding what the curriculum shall be. You agree with me on that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. No further questions. Just, I'll speak to this very quickly, Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman is recognized.
Guys, I think this is a slippery slope. You know, we're always talking about recruiting and retaining our best medical doctors, and we struggle to do that. And I love the experts deciding what's necessary and not the government. This is a government mandate. This is big government walking into the Board of Medicine instead of allowing professionals to make decisions on the continuing education aspect. You know, and what stops in the future from politicizing this and putting things into code that are a political hot topic at the current moment and not medically necessary? I think we let the medical professionals decide what's medically necessary and not the government mandating something for continuing education purposes. So I don't think I can support this. I understand it's probably coming from a good place, but I don't like the idea of us telling those in the gallery who are going to be future doctors in this state that we know better than you do. You are the experts. You've been through the schooling. Only a few of us here, I didn't hear any of the doctors in the room get up on this, but only a few of us here are actually medical professionals. I think we allow you all to continue the structure we have in place, which allows professionals to decide what is necessary for continuing education and not the government stepping in and mandating something. So I have to be a no on this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Are there other members who wish to be recognized on this bill? If not, does the gentleman wish to close debate on the bill? Gentleman, 23rd Delegate Worrell, to close debate on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I said before, this initiative is part of the Rural Health Transformation Program application, and what I would say is that the professionals will be making a determination of what will be taken. The board, we've made it so the Board of Medicine and osteopaths will decide what that nutrition education will be for the members, so I do trust those professionals to make those decisions, and so I would urge passage of the bill. Thank you.
Debate on the bill has been closed. The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage of the bill will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? From the 82nd, has every member voted? If so, the clerk will please close the machine and ascertain the result on that question. There were 58 ayes, 35 nays, 6 members absent. A majority of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares that bill passed. The clerk will please report the title.
House Bill 4951.
Are there title amendments? If not, the title as read by the clerk will be and remain the title of the bill. Gentleman from the first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Move to make the bill effective for passage.
The gentleman from the first moves that House Bill 4951 be made effective from its passage. The question is on the gentleman's motion. Those in favor of adoption of the motion will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will please close the machine and ascertain the result on that question. There were 79 ayes, 14 nays, 6 members absent. 2/3 of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares that bill effective from passage. The clerk will please communicate the action of the House to the Senate. Are there further bills on third reading? If not, bills on second reading.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4004 relating to the creation of the Recharge West Virginia program.
Are there amendments? If not, the bill will be advanced.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4456 relating to clarification of law enforcement agency and cooperation between law enforcement agencies and personnel of states bordering this state.
Are there amendments? If not, the bill will be advanced.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4484 to allow county commissions to have the same flexibility to sell or lease property as municipalities.
Are there amendments?
Delegate Funkhauser moves to amend the bill. This is HFA Funkhauser 2-2, number 1.
The question is on adoption of the amendment. Are there objections to allowing the sponsor to explain the amendment in lieu of having it read? There are no objections. Gentleman from the 98th is recognized to explain the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a technical clarification. It deletes the word "or" and adds a comma. I urge passage.
The question is on adoption of the amendment just explained by the sponsor. Is there debate on the amendment? If not, those in favor of adoption of the amendment as explained by the sponsor will please say aye. Those opposed will please say no. The ayes have it. The chair declares that amendment adopted. Are there other amendments to the bill? If not, the bill will be advanced to third reading. Are there other bills on second reading? If not, bills on first reading.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4606 relating to the meeting of residence for the purpose of bail.
Bill will be advanced.
House Bill 4696 authorizes the Department of Environmental Protection to deposit funds granted pursuant to federal programs.
Bill will be advanced. Are there other bills on first reading? If not, leaves of absence. Gentleman from the first.
For our colleagues, Mr. Speaker, Delegates Jared Cannon, Coop Gonzalez, Steen, Hildebrand, Kump, Brian Smith.
Are there objections to leaves of absence being granted? No objections are heard, and those leaves of absence will be granted. Introductions. Introductions. Gentleman from the 28th, Douglas Browning.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am pleased to announce that, sponsored by the West Virginia Academy of Family Physicians and celebrating the 37th anniversary of our Doc of the Day program, our family doctor today is Ms. Dr. Madison Davis. Would you please make her feel welcome?
Further introductions. Further introductions. Miscellaneous business. Gentleman from the first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move, subject to announcements, House adjourned until tomorrow, 11 a.m., Wednesday, February 4th.
Are there announcements? Gentleman from the 72nd, Douglas Riley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There are several announcements for your Committee on Finance. Your Subcommittee on Banking and Insurance will meet today, February 3rd at 1 p.m. in the Finance Committee room for a committee meeting. The agenda is posted. Your Subcommittee on Revenue will meet today, February 3rd at 5 p.m. in the Finance Committee room for a meeting. The agenda is posted. Your Subcommittee on Appropriations will meet tomorrow, February 4th at 8:30 a.m. in the Finance Committee room. The agenda will be posted. Your Finance Committee will have budget hearings tomorrow from Marshall University and West Virginia University. And lastly, your Subcommittee on Revenue will meet tomorrow, February 4th at 5 p.m. in the House Finance Committee room. The agenda will be posted. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman from the 41st, Delegate Maynor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Judiciary Committee and subcommittees will meet on Wednesday, February 4th in the Judiciary Committee room. Committee on Judiciary will meet at 9 a.m. Republican members of the committee will caucus in the chairman's office at 8:45 a.m. Subcommittee on Courts will meet at 9:45 a.m. Subcommittee on Homeland Security will meet at 10 a.m. And the Subcommittee on Legal Services will meet at 10:15 a.m. And all agendas will be posted.
Gentleman from the 72nd, Delegate Riley, the clerk's office did not note the full extent of your announcement. Would you please make it again?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Your Subcommittee on Banking and Insurance will meet today, February 3rd at 1 p.m. The agenda is posted, and that's in Finance Committee. Your Subcommittee on Revenue will meet today at 5 p.m., Finance Committee room. Your Appropriations Subcommittee will meet tomorrow at February 4th at 8:30 a.m. The agenda will be posted. Your Committee on Finance will meet tomorrow for a budget hearing at 9 a.m. for Marshall University and West Virginia University. Lastly, your Subcommittee on Revenue will also meet tomorrow, February 4th at 5 p.m. in the House Finance Committee room. The agenda will be posted. Thank you.
Gentleman from the 39th, Douglas Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Subcommittee on Local Government will meet today at 1 p.m. in the Government Organization Committee room. The agenda is posted. Republicans will caucus in the chair's office at 12:45. Your Subcommittee on Government Administration will meet today at 2 p.m. in the Government Organization Committee room. The agenda will be posted. Republicans will caucus in the chair's office at 1:45. Your Standing Committee on Government Organization will meet Thursday at 1 p.m. in the Government Organization Committee room. The agenda will be posted. Republicans will caucus at 12:45 in the chair's office. And last, your Subcommittee on Government Administration will meet Thursday at 2 p.m. in the Government Organization Committee room. The agenda will be posted. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman from the 92nd, Douglas Height.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Health and Human Resources will meet today, February 3rd at 3:30 p.m. in the Health and Human Resources Committee room. Republican members will caucus at 3 p.m. Your Subcommittee on Human Services will meet today, February 3rd at 4:30 p.m. in the Health and Human Resources Committee room. And your Committee on Public Health will meet Wednesday, February 4th at 3 p.m. in the Health and Human Resources Committee room. The agendas will be posted. Thank you.
Gentleman from the 43rd, Delegate Tony.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Subcommittee on Public Education will meet today at 1 p.m. in the Education Committee room. Your Subcommittee on Educational Choice will meet today at 1:40 in the Education Committee room. Members of the subcommittee will caucus in Chairman Statler's office at 1:30. Your Subcommittee on Higher Education will meet today at 2:20 in the Education Committee room. And last, your Standing Committee on Education will meet tomorrow, February the 4th at 1 p.m. in the Education Committee room. All agendas have been posted.
Gentleman from the 2nd, Delegate Sateslow.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Energy and Public Works will meet tomorrow, February 4th, in the House Judiciary Committee room at 3 p.m. Also, your Subcommittee on Environment, Infrastructure, and Technology will meet today in the House Judiciary Committee room at 3 p.m. The agendas are posted.
Gentleman from the 22nd, Delegate Linville.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Home Builders Association of West Virginia is providing lunch for us in the Government Organization Committee room. The agenda is posted.
Are there further announcements? If not, the question is on the motion that the House adjourns at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The House is adjourned at 11 a.m. tomorrow.